All right, everybody. Better late than never. But here is what are we in? Week 5 recap of the Not Shamrock Fantasy League. I didn't put it off because I lost or anything like that. I don't want you guys to think that. It was just a insane week of work. Week of work, yep. And then combine that with when I'm working days, evenings are basically taken up with kids sports every night. And then the one night that I didn't have kids sports, I went to the Yankee game. Speaking of which, very depressing week sports wise. Obviously the Yankees did not come through. I was present to witness that. Why is my computer doing this? Stand by. What is happening here? There we go. All right. Yep. Say hi, Will.
Hi.
Show them your tooth or your lack thereof. Somebody lost a tooth this week. Another one. The one next to it's coming soon. What did the tooth fairy bring?
$6.
$6. What did Eliza call it?
6 money.
Yeah, she woke up. She said, "Will got 6 monies." But they're out at the lake right now. Mommy's on her way to the lake, and we got baseball and soccer today and football tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, why is everything popping up right now? This is getting annoying. All right, anyway, let's talk real football briefly because this was a rough week. Before we got to Thursday night, everybody was in the dumps this week, with the exception of JJ, of course. Dolphins, sorry, Marcel, lost to the Panthers in a game that they were up 17-0. I mean, that was brutal. We were talking in the group chat before when it was like 17-0. We're like, I guess Bryce Young officially is a bust, and then somehow Dolphins find a way to blow that game. What else we have? The Giants, coming off the good win against the Chargers. Giants come back, play the Saints, and just they're up 14 and let the Saints back in that game. And then have 5 straight drives with turnovers, and lose to a team that most people feel is probably going to be the worst team in football. The Jets. Who did the Jets even play? I don't remember. I remember Cowboys? They looked bad. Yeah, the Cowboys. And good call. And they just obviously did not play well. And then for Buffalo, it was coming. We didn't play well against the Dolphins. We didn't play well against the Saints, and defensively we didn't play well against the Ravens. So I mean that we were due to lose one. I would have preferred not losing one in the division. I would have rather blown the game against the Saints. It was way less important than blowing against New England. There's really a 3-game swing when you think about it, winning or losing that game. So congrats to the Patriots at the W there. I wish Diggs had ever played like that in the playoffs for us. Never saw that kind of effort or success rate in the playoffs, but is what it is. So we got to come back, play our boy Kyle Pitts on Monday night. What's up?
What about that Thursday night?
We'll talk about that. Don't worry. So obviously, Giants fans are feeling differently now than they would have if I had done my recap on, say, Tuesday. Because Thursday night you guys played Philly, and I don't think a Giants fan could be happier than they came out of that game. Jackson Dart looked like a stud. Cam Scadaboo's crazy. I unfortunately was playing against him in 3 different fantasy leagues this week, so that's lovely. Beat Philly. Yeah, everything. The only way that could be better is if Neighbors was playing. But yeah, Giants fans are definitely riding cloud 9 right now after that win. We play Atlanta on Monday night, so that's a big game for us. And then we go into our bye, and we get Michael Hocht and we get Larry Ogunjobi back from suspension after the bye. Hopefully Milano can get healthy. Ed Oliver's supposed to be back on Monday, so hopefully we start getting some pieces in. And I think this Brandon Beane, I think he needs to go 2021 Rams in this trade deadline. Like when they traded for Von Miller and Jalen Ramsey and everything and went all in to win a Super Bowl, I think Beane's got to do that this year. I think he's got to go get Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave from the Saints, and then we got to go find a safety in a corner that can really take us. I would like Tariq Woolen from Seattle coming in. They got to make some moves because it's time to go all in. Josh is going to be 30 this year. We got to go win the Super Bowl. So anyway, I didn't even prep this at all. I just had a few free minutes, so I figured I would do this recap real quick. I know the one that you guys are all looking forward to, so I will save that one for last. All right, so let's see what happened in fantasy this week. All right, that's this week right now. Let's see, Uncle Justin started Theo Johnson against me. Good thing it wasn't Theo Johnson last week when he scored 2 touchdowns. All right, how do
James Walker. He started.
Yeah, well, that'll be on Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's go back to week 5. All right, the week 5 recap. So Ken, who has basically lost every game and hasn't shown up for anything, decides to put up 148, almost 149 points on me. My team wasn't terrible. I scored $124. Allen was good. McCaffrey was good. Michael Carter even produced for me. I'm getting nothing out of my receiving group right now. I lost Amari and Hampton for at least 4 games in different leagues, so that's lovely. Kelsey even produced for me. I had Bill on the bench with 27, but I don't believe any of it would have made a difference unless I had receivers that went off on the bench, which I don't. It wouldn't have made a difference because for Ken, Justin Fields, despite the Jets playing bad, Justin Fields is the ultimate garbage time quarterback for fantasy. Put up 26 points. Montgomery put up 18. Chase put up 29. JSN put up 27. Even Ridley. So guys like Ridley, Chase, Montgomery, guys who had not been producing, produced. So that was the case. Even his quarterback on his bench went for 29 points. So congrats to Ken. He kicked my butt this week. He improves to 2-3. I fall to 3-2. Moving on, close game. Delano and Justin. Delano squeaks out a 136-130 win. Delano's now 4-1. Justin is 3-2. Let's see what happened in that game. Let's see. Theo Johnson had 21 points on Justin's bench, and Bretton Strange, who got hurt in the game, only had 1 catch for 3 points. So obviously that would have, clearly we had the difference right there in the game if Justin goes Theo over Strange. And, there's the difference.
Dart was good.
Yeah, he was okay. 15 points. I bet Dart was much better this week. Let's see how many points Dart scored on Thursday. Yeah, see, on Thursday, Dart scored 23.6. By the way, Will wants in fantasy next year. So I feel like we should start a fathers and sons league next year where all the dads and the kids can do teams. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna beat Macklin?
Yeah.
You gonna beat Eli?
Yeah.
You gonna take them all out?
I'm gonna beat Kinsley.
You want to beat Kinsley?
And Bryson.
And Bryson?
And Kara.
And Kara?
I'm gonna be the first pick.
You want the first pick? Who would you take with the first pick?
Allen.
Good call. All right. So, moving on. We've got Larry improving to 3-2, beating Rich, falling to 0-5. Rich didn't have a bad week. I mean, are you laughing at Uncle Richie? Rich, didn't have a terrible week. 120. Daniels was okay. Brees was okay. Judkins could have had a much bigger day. Obviously, if that touchdown doesn't get called back. He started a tight end that got him 0. So there's that. Obviously, Bowers was on the bench with 0. Is what it is. For Larry, let's see. Baker was good. That was a great game, the Seattle Bucks game. I'm scared when we play the Bucks later this year. Scattaboo, St. Brown, Devontae Smith showed up. Waddle showed up. Ferguson showed up. We had a bunch of good games across the board. Is Larry the highest scorer so far? No, so far Ken's the highest scorer. Larry improves to 3-2. Rich falls to 0-5. We're going to skip over that game, and we're going to go to Courtney with his first win on the board, beating JJ. That was a close game. 111.8 to 110.7. So I'm sure there's 2 bench points here that probably could have got it done for JJ. Courtney, again. How many times are you going to start the Ravens defense scoring you negative points? Let's see how many times they've done this now. Game log. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 5 weeks, the Ravens defense has scored negative points 4 times. -7 against Buffalo, -6 against Detroit, -3 against KC, -4 against Houston. Courtney, just bench your defense and you'll score more points. You'll literally score more points if you just bench your defense. It almost cost you here. Let's see. Rico Dowdle for Courtney off the waiver wire, scoring 32.5 points to win him a 2-point game. That's a beast mode move there. And then for JJ, let's see, 13 points from, obviously, if he starts Ingram or Downs or Tungus over Juju, he wins. So, Courtney, JJ certainly had the points there. So JJ falls to 1-4. Courtney improves to 1-4. Moving on, we've got Kyle coming up big against Danny with a 140-94 win. For Kyle, let's see, big game out of Jonathan Taylor. That was really his only big producer. Mason Taylor with 17.5 points. Saints defense with 18. Like we talked about, the 5 turnovers in a row. And then for Danny, obviously he only scored 94 points, so his team didn't really show this week. Nobody of note. Ramondre Stevenson, despite only having 14 yards, still figured for 14 points because he got those 2 short touchdowns, unfortunately, against us. He had Matthew Stafford, but it wouldn't have made a difference in this game. So Kyle improves to 2-3. Danny falls to 3-2. Moving on, I can tell who our low scorer of the week is going to be. It's going to be Paul, who got smoked by Marissa, 141-83. So both those teams are 3-2 now. It looks like Paul continues to start Tank Bigsby at running back, despite the fact that he doesn't play, and didn't start a RB2. He does have Chuba Hubbard and Aaron Jones injured on the bench, but got to work that waiver wire, brah. All right, so he also started Lamar Jackson at quarterback, who had 0. And then he's got J.J. McCarthy on the bench with 0. So, Jessica, we will be having a talk. You need to get your boyfriend focused on this spot here. He had Puka with 24, and that was pretty much it. For Marissa, big game, almost 142 points. McConkey finally showed up. Keon scored a touchdown. Laporta had a big game. Shaheed had a big game. Hopefully future Buffalo Bill, Rashid Shaheed right there. And then, Kyron Williams with the huge game, 31 points there. So big game for Marissa. She improves to 3-2. Paul falls to 3-2. All right. The game you guys all care about. Okay? Team Gattaca versus the Professor. Marcel comes up with a 153.88 victory against 134 for Shane. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Marcel was the highest scorer of the week. Yep, he outscored Ken by 5. And so, obviously, let's see where it comes up. Dak. I love that Marcel has to depend on a Cowboy to produce for him. Dak with a big game. Sutton was good. Mecca Abuya. Abuka with a big game. I'm glad I've got him in at least one league. I traded him in Marcel's league, but it's for the future. Darren Waller, another guy. I can't trade him in Marcel's league for some reason. Nobody wants him. Game. Lions defense produced. Big games all around. And Shane didn't have a bad week. 134 points wins you most games. Mahomes was big. Genti was decent. Pollard had a decent game. Nico scored a touchdown. Shakir was okay. Huge game out of Rashard White, who's obviously producing with Bucky Irving out. But not enough, and there's no bench points. Both these guys have tons of guys on buys. So that was what it was. So congratulations to Marcel. He gets to make the videos this week, and we'll see if they play each other again with a 14 league team. You only play each other once in the regular season, except for whoever you played in week 1. So they won't play each other again until the playoffs, if that takes place. Speaking of the playoffs, let's see where the standings are at right now. So Marcel and Delano are at the top. Keep getting all these pop-ups. Marcel and Delano are at the top at 4-1. Marcel has got a pretty hefty point lead on Delano. Just go away. Let's see. It looks like 79 points there. Then going to the 3 and 2 teams, they go in this order: Larry, Justin, me, Shane. So that's your line of demarcation for the 6 playoff seeds. And then Danny and Paul and Marissa are all 3 and 2, but they would be on the outside looking into the playoff situation as it goes right now. And then we move on to 2 and 3 teams. We got Kyle and Ken. Then at 1 and 4, we got JJ and Courtney. And then looking like he's going to get shot with some paintballs is Rich. All right. Are you going to help me shoot Uncle Richie with paintballs?
Yes.
Yes. And let's see these stupid power rankings, see where they have us. Oh, God. They moved Team Gattaca from 14 up to 1. I don't love that. And then looks like Larry is up to 2. Courtney's at 13. Rich is at 14. Ken is at 11, which really makes me angry that I lost to him. Delano moves up to 3. Danny moves up to 4. Kyle moves back to 10. Justin moves back to 8. I stay at 5, so I don't move. Marissa moves back to 9. The unknown, is that Paul? I think he moves from 3 back to 6. I think that's JJ moves from 2 back to 12. And then Shane moves from 1 back to 7. So that is where we're at in the standings right now. Obviously, Giants already played. I can't even think of who the Jets play this week. Oh, they're in London. They're early game. I forget who they're playing, but they're in London. Must be the Vikings or the Browns or something. I don't know. And then obviously the big game for me is Monday night Bills at Falcons. All right. Anything you want to say signing off?
No.
No? All right. Well, we got to start getting ready for baseball. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Say bye, everybody. Be good.
No.
Do good.
No.
God bless.
No.
And go Bills.
No.